All right, we are here with Coach Kyle Roughton here at Arab High School. We're going to be covering them, doing the coaches show again this year. Coach, first of all, how have you been doing this off season? I know you've been a busy man, but just catch us up to speed. What you've been up to this off season?
Yeah, I mean, if we go back to springtime, we do more of the 2 hours a week deal. We don't actually have a spring. A lot of multi-sport guys, track, baseball, soccer. We've got a lot of soccer players, and so a spring to us is almost wasted, just because you don't have all your guys out there. I mean, when your roster's 65 and you're missing 20 of them, that's a big deal. So we do the kind of more like skill development, work on some things there. We schedule that 2 days a week for an hour. So we just kind of schedule us an hour of doing different stuff. We do that for, I think we did that for 8 or 9 weeks. And then gave them a week off after school was out. Came back first Monday of June. Then in June, we're 4 days a week lifting. And then, like I said, with a lot of basketball and baseball guys, they do a lot of summer stuff too. So instead of overloading them, the head coaches work well together up here. So 2 days a week are kind of their basketball play dates. And then the other two, they're not playing, and so we're able to get our full team on the field for those two during that. And then July, we ramp up 4 days a week of workouts and basically practices and helmets. Scheduled a few OTAs this year. We did a little 7-on-7 with Coleman to end kind of June. Went to Scottsboro's 7-on-7 tournament. They had a little O-line, D-line challenge. It was a lot of fun. Our guys, our O-line, D-line had a blast at that. Then we had Etowah came for 11-on-11 OTA. Went to Gardendale. Competed with them. That was a good time. It was a good competition. And then we ended the summer going to UNA 7-on-7 and played in that tournament there and got several games in. Weren't a ton. We weren't real successful in the 7-on-7s, which that's not really how we're built. We're built to run the ball and let that kind of open up some passing lanes for us by teams having to load up the box. So it's a little different trying to call our offense out there, especially when everybody knows you're passing. But I mean, at the end of the day, our defense knew they were passing too. So, but overall, I think it was a good summer, and really the entire summer, you always kind of get beat up, banged up a little bit, or somebody gets a little tweak back here or there, maybe a shoulder, an ankle. From March to fall camp, we stayed relatively healthy. With no hiccups. We had our guys. We really got everything installed we wanted. We're really sitting in a good place, and the last couple of weeks we've been sick. We've had a couple with some groins or back or shoulder or knee. Nothing too long term, but it's really I think in the long run, I think it's going to be more of a blessing for us. We started talking at the beginning of the summer about how thin we were going to be, with 11 seniors and I think 13 or 14 juniors. We've got a lot of guys that are really going to have to step up, and the last couple of weeks has been good. Not good for my sanity and sleep, because you don't know exactly when you're going to get these guys back. But just looking back on it just so far, I mean, we've had a couple offensive linemen that are sophomores that we just didn't think would be near ready to spell or help us on Friday night. So we were crossing over a lot of defensive line guys to kind of create that depth. And even crossing those defensive guys over, those two sophomores have still had to play in our competitions. And the improvement that they've made from last year to spring to summer to right now is really huge for us. It kind of gives us a little more peace of mind for when our other guys get back.
The thing you hit on right there that really I took away from it is Arab's not built for a 7-on-7. It's not. You guys are physicality, establishing your will. Talk about that, but also how it may be frustrating, but it might be a diamond in the rough or a hidden gem that some of these guys are kind of banged up right now because some of these younger guys have to step up. Talk about that a little bit up front, especially on the offense.
So to touch on the point with the 7-on-7s, we know we're not built that way. And breaking in a sophomore quarterback, that was kind of the main reason why I wanted to compete a lot, put him in competitive situations, but also, our skill guys. We lost 2 or 3 guys on the outside, and we've got another number 1 this year. He'll be a sophomore. He's about 6'6", but he hasn't been in that competitive fire as far as jump balls and trying to get body position or win on routes against DBs. He hadn't had to do that at the varsity level yet, so that was really big for him. And then with our other guys breaking in, like I said, our quarterback, just wanting to put him in as much situation. We can do that in our practice, but we run a 3-3 stack, and we mix up our coverages, but we run a lot of cover 3 different ways, mix in a little 2, little man here or there. But he gets to see that all the time. So just getting to see different defenses, whether it's a 2 high look, a 1 high look, and letting him read through those progressions, I think that was really good for us in those 7-on-7s. Lost a lot of starters on offense, lost some playmakers, and then on the defensive side, the same way. We're breaking in a couple new stacks, a couple new guys in the secondary. So just kind of putting them in those competitive aspects that's not just AREB versus AREB, I think was really key. And then just just talking about imposing our will. We lean on the run game, and that's kind of how we're built. What we want to do, kind of establish the run, ball control. Give the defense time to get over on the sidelines, make adjustments if they have to, get a breather if that's what's needed, and then get back on the field. And again, just physicality and toughness is key for us. That's kind of how we preach and how we believe we win.
Let's flip that thing over and talk about your specialty, the defensive side of the ball. Talk about some of the guys that maybe you lost up front there that you got to replace, and some of the guys that you're really counting on, kind of hang your hat on, so to speak, on the defensive side.
Yes, we lost a couple guys up front that were really good for us. We lost another number 6, really good player for us. We transitioned and found another number 6 that we'll put in that jersey this year. John Loden comes back and we're wearing number 0 this year. But he'll be back on the defensive line for us. He's a really explosive player, really strong player. We can be on the left hash, and he can be playing defensive end, and he can make a play at the line of scrimmage on the sidelines. It's just kind of what type of player he is, what kind of motor he has. And we've got some young guys that we've tried to build up through the summer, and try to create a little more depth there. And I think those guys are coming along pretty good. At linebacker, we lost a couple linebackers too. We returned 1, and I think he's going to have a really good season. Landon Erdl, and then we've got a couple other linebackers we're trying to fix. We got one come out. He's going to play as a senior. He hadn't played for us since he was a freshman. He's a really good wrestler for us, which by nature is going to make him physical.
And in shape.
I think people get surprised a little bit by our size, especially defensively. I think our offensive line is a pretty big offensive line. Our running back is big, but defense, you don't just look out there and say, well, that kid plays defensive line. I think you can look at most of our players, and like if you look at John Loden, you don't know if he's a big, strong safety, if he's a linebacker or what. And then I tell people he's a defensive end, and they're like, really, that's. You don't really expect that, but that's just kind of how we're built and how we play. But there's one non-negotiable on our defense, and that is being physical. They have to be able to run to the ball, and they have to hit people whenever they get there. Or at the end of the day, you don't play defense.
They're going to be standing over there beside you.
That's right.
That's it. All right, now, I always love to talk about the X factor in any football game is always special teams. We've touched on offense, we've touched on defense. Let's talk about your special teams a little bit, some of the positions that's got to be filled there, and the things you're looking forward to in that.
So we do a little bit, which we've got a traditional punt put in, and we're working with that. We didn't do a traditional punt last year. We did more of the rugby with a push-up quarterback. That gave us opportunities maybe to steal a possession here or there. And he was really good at rolling the ball down the field, and our lanes were good. we'll probably still do that a little bit with our quarterback, but we kind of transitioned more to a traditional punt. And we've got somebody back there that I think that can consistently put it out there about 35 yards. But I'm not saying that the rugby punt's off the table. Our kickoff, Loden, who he kicked off for some last year, he's got a powerful leg. The defensive end I was talking about, and Ty Kirkland's going to step in and fill shoes of Aiden Wooten, who's a really good kicker for us. People kind of they get a bad take of my belief on field goals because we didn't attempt one. But at the beginning of the season and throughout the year, you kind of have a target range of where you need to get to feel comfortable about kicking a field goal. And last year, that was around the 13, 14 yard line. That's where we felt the most comfortable kicking it, unless we were in a really backed up situation. But it was kind of a weird year for that too. And of course, the situation in the game calls for that too. But last year was a weird situation because you had that explosiveness in Puccio, you had that explosiveness with Strickland, who could win a jump ball at any time. So whenever you're down there, what are the odds of the game? What do you need in the game? So it wasn't the actual confidence of the field goal unit the last couple of years, because Aiden Wooten was, I don't know, he might have missed one extra point in 3 years, and it's not that we didn't get in the end zone very much. So he was really reliable for us in that aspect. But then again, you look at the situations that we had to kick field goals, we were either just a little out of that range, or we were close enough that we felt like we could mash and get the first down, or we felt good about a matchup maybe on the outside, but we would take a shot on fourth down and leave them pinned inside the 10, So, it's all situations. Like I said, people kind of take it, well, I didn't have confidence in the kicker. That wasn't really it. It's just the situation that you're in, the players that you have, where are they going to end up if you miss it? Where are they going to end up if you miss it on fourth down? So all of that kind of goes into a factor. So, I do believe in field goals, but I also believe in other players you got too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's hard to match up with Puccio, who can, Kyler Murray type guy, and then Strickland's out there. It looks like Megatron. It's a tough matchup for anybody.
I talked about last year's kicker a little bit. This year, Ty Kirkland's going to be stepping in as a junior, and I think I said this the other day. Sitting in practice, he made 4 in a row from 42.
That's legit.
So that's putting the ball at the 25-yard line. So
yeah.
I'm not saying that that's our target to a field goal, but anything from the 20 in, I feel pretty good about right now. But again, if we're on the 18 and it's 4th and 6, I'm not saying we're not going for it.
Right.
Because it's all going to dictate what we think we got. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, and you got to flow with the game. A lot of factors goes into that. Not everybody in the stands understands that sometimes, but I do. I know exactly what you're saying. Coach, a couple more questions before I let you get out of here. Just what's some of the things you got to get done? Next week, it's crazy to think that next week you're going to be hitting somebody of another jersey in the Jamboree game. That's insane. It's flown by so fast. But what are some of the things you got to get done between now and then, and obviously before you play Cherokee County?
The biggest thing was we got Grissom next week in OTA, Fall Jamboree. We did OTA with Grissom too. I don't know if I mentioned them earlier, but we went to Grissom and did OTA, and that was really good. It kind of gets you familiar with your Jamboree opponent, and they've got a new coach. I think he's come in and I think he's done a really good job there. From what I saw in the OTA, so they're definitely going to be a challenge in our Jamboree. And then week 0, they've got a new coach over there, and I think he's done a great job. Several different spots. He's been a head coach coaching the state championship game, so I think he's going to get that ship moving in the right direction. And I still don't know what they're going to do, but hopefully we'll find out sooner than later.
Yeah. Sometimes that's good at Jamborees.
Well, Altonville's going to be our first game.
Yeah.
So Grissom we kind of got an idea, and Altonville we don't. But I think those are two bigger schools. Kind of test where we're at early, and then of course, like you alluded to, going to Cherokee County. We know that's going to be a physical war. Whenever we go there, it was last year whenever we played here.
So y'all play Albertville before Cherokee.
That's right.
Okay.
So we're Grissom in our jamboree next Thursday.
Gotcha.
Week 0 we're Albertville, and then week 1 we go through Cherokee County.
Gotcha. Oh yeah. The 7A,
7A.
4A state runner-up the last 2 years.
Yeah. So anyways, I mean, it's a good way to kick off the season. Kind of where we've got to get to. We've got to get some guys back. But as I talked about earlier, the depth that we've created with kind of having them gone has been good. You know, if you would have told me 2 weeks ago we were going to suit up and play on Thursday night, I don't really know what I would have.
Yes, less than a week.
What I would have went. You know, but after 2 weeks of kind of getting those guys some work, throwing them to the fire, you know, I feel like they're ready to step out on a varsity Thursday night or Friday night. And you know, if that's who we go to war with, that's who we go to war with. And if we get those guys back, then you know we've got some really good depth pieces in case something happens. So I think it's really going to be a blessing. So number one thing is we got to get healthy, and two, I still don't think we're in the best shape that we could be in, and I don't think it's for lack of trying. So a little bit more. Got to get a little bit more conditioned. And then we just gotta, you know, we're still trying to fit the pieces of the puzzle on a couple areas. It's kind of late in the game to be doing that, but we feel like we have a handful of guys here and a handful of guys here that can really help us. And it's just kind of matching to get the best product we can get on the field. And again, like I said, with defense, it's the 11 that we can put in positions that's going to hit you in the, you know, try to knock your mouthpiece down your throat. And offensively, it's that continuity. Establish the run, be physical at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, and then find those plays and playmakers that we can get on the edge and get the ball to whenever we need to.
Absolutely, Coach. And I always like to close like this. Give me your final thoughts on this upcoming season overall.
Final thoughts. I think people I think people expect us to have a down year, to be honest. But you lose a couple of those guys that are playing college now on the offensive line. You know, Noah Smith and Jackson East. You lose a Puccio, who's just an unreal talent. Lose a Strickland, who can jump out of the gym, run fast, great ball skills. You lose guys like that. Flip over on the defense side, same thing. You know, you lose positions in the secondary you're trying to replace. You lose, you know, defensive line like Lawson King, who's wearing number 6, and Braxton Johnson. You lose those guys, and then at linebacker, you know, you're replacing 2 of the 3, and Peyton Jackson, you know, played really well for us last year. So I mean, whenever you're talking about replacing all of those guys, I can see where people that aren't here, you know, I can see where people, they'll probably fall back down. I think I saw some prediction they've got us finishing 6th or 7th in our region.
Wow,
that's just how we like it.
Oh, that's a blessing.
That's
a blessing for you as a coach, though.
We'll find out. It's good bulletin board material.
Yeah.
I think our guys are ready to go, and this group has bought into the kind of our way, and I don't really expect the product on the field to change very much.
Oh, I love that, man. That's the best mentality you can have, right there, in my opinion. I love that. People doubt you. That's fantastic as a head coach. Coach, I appreciate you sitting in with us. Obviously, we're looking forward to covering you guys again. We really enjoyed it last year and looking forward to doing it again this year. Thank you so much, Coach. All right, we're back in with the Arab Knights. At this time, we got 3 players in with us, and we're going to let these gentlemen introduce themselves at this time.
I'm John Logan. I'm a senior and I'm a defensive end. I'm Stafford Willis. I play left tackle and I'm a junior.
I'm Landon Erdl. I'm a senior and I'm a linebacker.
Guys, the first thing I'm going to mention to you, it seems like yesterday you guys were getting out of school, and now we're under 1 week away from playing a jamboree game. How has y'all's summer been? I mean, I know y'all have had play dates and OTAs and workouts, but just take us through your summers individually, and we'll start right over here.
We've been working really hard. We've been getting after it in the weight room, getting after each other on the field, and just trying to prepare as much as we can to be the best team that we can be.
Absolutely.
Like you said, we're working hard in the weight room every day, you know, conditioner, lifting heavy, and we also really work hard in practice, lots of competition. Get scrappy sometimes, but that's what it's all about. We did OTAs and stuff, 707s at other schools. That was good for us, get that competition, and it was a good summer.
Really insensitive. do a bunch of OTAs, and that really just brings the intensity, across the entire, state, and just
Across the whole, I mean, y'all's program is built on intensity. You got a very intense football coach. I know that.
yes,
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
Let's talk about Coach Route for a minute. What do you guys take away from him outside of football? Like, let's talk about things that you can take over in your day-to-day life, like some things you picked up characteristics from him.
He's really, I would say, strong-minded, and definitely really intensive, on and off the football field. He's always getting ready, getting active, and just wants us to be a better player, better person.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's intense, but it's one of the best things about him. He works hard, and he's going to do everything to the best of his ability. He expects that from us too. So he's pushing us to be the best version of ourselves we can be on and off the field.
No doubt.
I've, been with him for so long. I've learned to just be like him and give 100% in everything I do, and just try to be the best person, human being I can be. And I've learned that all from him.
Absolutely. Coach obviously looks at you three guys as leaders. I mean, other guys on the team as well, but talk about that a little bit. You guys are, look to be leading this football team this fall. I know you guys had some star power graduate the last few years here, some really good guys that's been ahead of you, but now you guys are kind of rolled into that role. Talk about that a little bit.
It's just, we got to try to be on everybody, make sure everybody else is giving 100%, make sure they're giving everything they got, and make sure we're giving everything we got, and stay on everybody about everything.
Yeah, I think it's a lot about leading by example. You want to be the big dog, you got to be the big dog. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta work hard all the time, and also hold others to that standard. Being always being intense and stuff like that.
No doubt.
And being accountable, that's really where it starts, and pushing each other to the level of, our standard, and we don't settle for, low. We're always going, we're always being active.
That's in the weight room too. That ain't just on the football field with you guys, right? Let's talk about the weight room and the physicality, the things you guys are that people from outside this area. When you think of ARAB, the first thing that comes to mind is physicality, running the football, playing good defense. I remember Antoine Fagans. Y'all know the Fagan brothers from Thompson. Their dad called me one night when they were playing y'all when they was in Oxford, and it's like, man, them dudes just beat up. I can't say exactly what he said on camera, but he's like, man, we won, but man, we paid the price, and but you guys carry that mantra. Of physicality and stuff like that. Talk about what does it take to keep that standard going and even take it to another level.
Well, it all starts in the weight room, and it starts with our coach. He pushes us. Our strength and conditioning coach, Coach Reynolds, a really great guy. And it starts in the weight room. And, if you give all that you can in the weight room, it'll show on the field.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah, every rep in the weight room is important, and it directly translates to the field. And also, every drill that we do is as physical as we can do it. We are always just butting heads with each other, whether it's we're just out there on Monday or Thursday before a game. We're always getting after it. Every practice is physical.
Now I'll go back to the weight room. When we're in the weight room, we're always trying to beat each other and see who can lift the most weight, and that carries on to the field. We're always trying to beat each other, no matter what. If I'm hitting Stafford, if I'm hitting John, I'm still always trying to beat him.
100%, man. That's what creates greatness. The Bible talks about the iron sharpens iron. When you guys are getting dressed and it's Friday night, and you guys got a home game, you're going to bus over there. Talk about that. What's going through your mind? This is an incredible crowd you guys have here. The stadium's packed. You have some fans like nobody else. But a Friday night here in ARAB, Alabama, can you explain what that's like?
It's like nothing I've ever felt before. It feels like a college game out there. You be watching on TV, everybody's getting crazy, and that's just how it feels out there. But once you're really playing, it just adds on layers of how you play.
Yeah, before the game, everybody's locked in. It's like a calm before the storm. We got quiet intensity where we're just absolutely dialed before the game. Get dressed or just waiting. It's always, we're really focused until it's game time and we let loose.
There you go.
And then we just go crazy on the opponents. That's all.
Yeah.
We bring it 110%.
What are you listening to? You guys headphones guys or? What are you listening to before a game?
I like to keep it a little calm and more of a country kind
I'm with you on that, 100%.
I think it depends, like, in the locker room here before I go, definitely listen to the country, just being calm and loose. But whenever I get to the field house, I like to turn it up with some rap and some rock. I like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
And when I'm here, I listen to some calm, some country, but on the bus right there, I'm 90s alternative
There you
down
go.
some chains.
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah. Man, that's awesome. I know Coach is celebrating that. That's a win for us old guys. Guys, a few more questions. I know y'all are in the middle of your photo shoot, so I don't want to keep you in here all day, but let's talk about your individual positions. You play a linebacker now, and you guys have had some stellar linebackers here over the last few years. Talk about what it takes to be a linebacker here at ARAB.
You just got to give everything you got. I mean, you can look at me. I mean, I'm not the biggest, I'm not the strongest, but I mean, if I give 100%, I mean, I can do whatever I put my mind to, and that just because I mean, I'm trying to keep up with these dudes before me. I mean, they were out here getting all state, and I'm trying to just be like them.
No doubt. Offensive line. I mean, you guys got guys playing in college now. All you guys seem to be, in the 6'5" to 6'8" range and the 250 to 3 range, and you fit that mode perfectly.
Yes, sir.
Talk about what it's like to play a line here.
Yes, sir. The left tackle especially, I got to protect the quarterback, his blind side, but it's a selfless job, and I wouldn't do anything other than that. It's great, protecting everybody else so we can succeed as a team. But it takes relentless effort and physicality and being nasty about it, and also pushing other offensive linemen around you to really just accomplish the goal and demolish the line of scrimmage.
The second highest paid position in the NFL is left tackle. So for a reason. Now you playing defensive end, correct?
Yes, sir.
You're all over the field, though. I mean, we may see you somewhere, but talk to us about that and what that's going to have to take for you to play at that position this year.
Well, we talked about having a standard, and we've had a great bunch of D linemen before me. And I'm not that big. My teammates are not that big from what we used to have. But it just comes down to our standard, and I feel like that's more of like a mental kind of thing. Though, not everybody's going to be the biggest, but it's just whatever you want to bring to the table and how much you want to give to for your team and stuff.
I'm going to ask you guys one last question. Let's say you guys are going to grow up one day and have kids and a wife, a family yourself. You can't hit reset on this season coming up. So give me a guarantee, you guys, what you're going to do to make this football team better this year.
I'm going to just try and give my all and just make sure I have no regrets, because this could be my last time ever playing football, and make sure I leave everything on the field and I don't have any regrets going on in life.
Love it.
Yeah, definitely leaving everything on the field, doing everything to the best of my ability, but also pushing my brothers around me to do their best and just whip the other team every night.
There you go.
No regrets. I mean, you go on that field and give it all you got, and helping your brothers and the upcoming classmen, and show them that it ain't gonna last forever. It's eventually gonna come to an end.
So 20 years from now, we turn this on and your family's there and your kids are there. You may even have a grandkid or two by then. Who knows? But you can sit there and watch this video and be like, man, I told them that, and that's what I did, man. I appreciate you guys sitting in with us, and we're looking forward to covering you guys this year. Thank you so much.
Thank you all.